Hi guys, this is Yuvraj.
This is Devsis. Welcome to No Brainer. Here we discuss and break down the vital and hot issues of our importance that we think may not affect us, but somehow they do.
Please support our initiative of providing valuable insight on burning issues. Please feel free to comment our mistakes. So let's begin our journey. So guys, today's issue is climate change and the problem with our solution. I'm going to sell you through this issue in detail. Now, the word climate change bothers the most. But what is this climate change? In simple words, it refers to the destruction of our environment and of our Mother Earth by our active and passive action. So let's dive deeper into this. Mother Earth has witnessed 5 mass extinction so far, and we are responsible for the 6th mass extinction that we have fastened through our excessive exploitation of nature. We have an idea of this excessive exploitation from a study by United Nations Environment Program that said that we have exploited as many resources in last 100 years as well as we did in last 10,000 years put together. This shows our dedication in destroying our Mother Earth. Let's look at some instance of habitat destruction. 3,800 man-made fires in Amazon forest last year that include the most destructive fire in Brazilian rainforest earlier this year. 17% of Amazon forest has been cleared for agriculture and industrial purpose in last 50 years. Globally, deforestation has doubled in last decade. Since early human civilization, trees have been reduced to half now. Clearing forest cause rise in CO2 and temperature, and planting more trees could store some of carbons. But this is not a panacea or a silver bullet. Our excessive consumption of fossil fuels, plastic, paper, clothes, and food is bringing slow death to our planet. Because of this rising consumerism and overconsumption, many cities around the world have already witnessed a zero water day, including Cape Town, Karachi, Chennai. We humans produce enough food to sustain 7 Earth. To sustain 7 Earth, that is 50 billion people, but still 40% of humans still die of starvation. This year, Earth Overshoot Day is on July 29th. Last year, it was on August 1st. Now, you must be wondering, what the hell is this Overshoot Day? Overshoot Day is refers to exhaustion of Earth's natural budget for the year. It is constantly decreasing, but our pseudo environmentalist is harming the that environment the same way as our consumerism has. Another reason for this climate emergency is bit controversial, and that is meat industry. We know meat consumerism has economic and socio-religious aspect, but today we are just going to delve deeper into its environmental impact. Our excessive meat consumption is bringing havoc to nature as requirement of pasture land is increasing manifold every year. More meat requirement means more animals, and that means more land for animals pasture, and it will worsen the already looming threat of water crisis. Livestock for meat industry are responsible for 15% of total greenhouse gases. 26% of total ice-free land is used to livestock grazing. 33% of total agriculture land on earth is used for animal grazing for meat industry. 7,500 liter water is consumed to produce 1 kg of meat. It means 7,500 लीटर पानी का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है 1 किलो मीट को तैयार करने के लिए. This much water can bathe one human for a year. Leather industry is one of the biggest water consuming industry after the paper industry, and they generate lot of toxic waste into our rivers. Kanpur, a hub of leather industry, is the most polluted city in India because of this industry. We don't suggest that meat be banned, but a little self-control can help in fighting with the climate change. Because meat is no more religious issue but an environmental emergency. Having said all this, let me hasten to add a very important point about India's contribution in global CO2 emission, of which there is so much hue and cry. India is home of 16% of global population with just over 2% of land surface. It means हिंदुस्तान 2% ज़मीन पर पूरी दुनिया की 16% आबादी को मैनेज कर रहा है. We have always lived in harmony with nature, unlike some pseudo-activist claims. Though India itself is suffering from its own emission and pollution, but we are way better than all developed nations put together in terms of our per capita emissions. In India, Earth Overshoot Day is fell on 29th of July as compared to Nordic countries where our pseudo-activist hails from, it fell on April 3rd. That means they exhausted their natural budget in just over 3 months. Now, having spoken about all this, let me hasten to add that we must understand that there is huge debate between economy versus environment. The latter always take precedence over the former in short term, which makes us ignore the ill effects economy has on environment. Though I certainly believe that developed countries must not pin their accusing fingers on developing nations. For our CO2 emission, India, China, Africa have a huge population that they have to feed because 75% of world population live in Afro-Asia region. This Afro-Asia region has comparatively way lesser carbon footprint than developed countries, unlike our pseudo-activist Greta Thunberg claimed. But what our pseudo-activists fail to understand is the poverty and deprivation their countries subjected us under. So, this debate of environment versus economy has a long history and had conflicting opinions so far. It started with London smoke in late 19th and 20th century and is going on with Delhi smoke. But London could deal with their smoke because of the money it had obtained because of the same development that had caused it. Same thing happened with Beijing smoke. These calamities are caused by development and can be prevented and corrected by development only. So, we shouldn't look at development as an alien enemy. For example, a startup in Uttar Pradesh has been making instant sticks from flower waste. A startup in Germany is making millions through pattal making. Yes, you heard it right. Germans are using pattal instead of plastic disposals. They got inspiration for this from India, where we are actually forsaking this sustainable practice in Delhi. Vehicular emission, stubble burning, industrial pollution has deepened the crisis, and only better technological development can cure it. For example, for vehicles, Supreme Court ordered of implement of Bharat Stage 6 vehicles from 2020 will lesser the pollution to half, and rice bioparks can be troubled buster from stubble burning. So, environment is important, and only better development strategy and not unnecessary activism can cure the environmental crisis we are reeling under. So guys, that's all for now. Devashish will be coming up with the main theme of our issue in the next part. To watch that, please click here or go to the description box. Thank you, have a great day, bye bye, and take a good care of yourself.